Christmas. It's Christmas, everyone, because the SMSL SU-9 has dropped today. I'm saying this in the past because I know the day that APOS is releasing it, and I'm actually going to release it the next day because 7 p.m. is not a good time for me to release it, the video. But SU-9. So, if you don't know, if I whip up the web browser, SMSL SU-8. I don't even know how long ago I reviewed this thing. What was it? It's been 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 200 years? Was Columbus setting sail? And then I was like, oh, the SU-8's out. Which there was never an SU-7. It's a little confusing. It's like, why call it the SU-8? Either unless it's in a series or it has 8 of something. So now, out of nowhere, SU-9. Which APOS does not have a price listed. And I just checked my emails because I correspond, obviously, if they're sending me something. And they're like, yeah, this is the date it's coming out. We're going to do the release. Blah, blah, blah. Nowhere in it does it say the price. So, it's another one of those videos where I have a unit. I know its capabilities, but I don't know its price. So Daddy Zeos is going to play a game where he guessed the price. Now, if the original SU-8 is $250, and I know its capabilities, and I know it's like quality level, like where it stands up. God, that's so bright. Where it stands up against other things. And then I know what this is, and this should be a replacement. It shouldn't be like the SU-8 is available and the SU-9. This should just replace the SU-8, and the SU-8 should be discontinued. Which would mean this should be just slightly more than the SU-8, and then the SU-8 disappears, and then maybe in like a year or so, maybe 6 months, it drops down, and this becomes $250. However, current level of capability, total harmonic distortion stuff, option stuff, things they've added, I'm going to push this more towards like the 350 to 400 range coming out. That's my guess. I'm going to assume this is on APOS now. If it's 360, absolute buy. Even up to 400, it's probably an absolute buy. If it's under like 350, fucking what are you waiting for? Because this is the SMSL bothers me. SMSL, because it's like I look at it and go, wait, is it topping? No, it's SMSL. Oh, you mean like the M200 and then the M400. But this sounds like the M400. But that's $800. But the M200 sounded really good also, but it was terrible fucking convenience factors. So it's like, SMSL doesn't need to make this. Usually what happens is a company like ConAgra. If you go to the supermarket, if you went to the supermarket today and everything on the shelves didn't say Knorr Bouillon and, Muller's thing, if they just had their parent company logos, there'd be like 5 brands in the entire supermarket. Like General Mills owns fucking everything. ConAgra owns everything. So SMSL is trying to do that thing where they compete by putting multiple DACs out on the market. But they're using SMSL's the same name. They're using this like 9 DACs. It's all SMSL. It's like if you found out Topping and SMSL were owned by the same company. That would make more sense as far as competing. But SMSL has like 5 fucking DACs out. I didn't even get into like the M500 DAC and things like on that level with the square boxes. I'm going off track. It's been a while since I've done a review. I've been in a funk. My basement is more of a mess than it has been. There's the bees. We killed the bees because we had to fix. I lost sight in one of them. I didn't lose sight. I had terrible double vision for one whole day. I thought I was going blind. Yay, because I slept on it wrong. So if you ever wake up and you have double vision in one eye, it's because you slept with like a golf ball punching your eye. I can see now again, by the way. Thank you for asking. My patrons knew all about this because they know about everything. Well, at least the $10 ones did. I'm way off track. Point is, this DAC is very, very good. Like, from my ears, and all I have is my ears, people. My eyes might disappear, but my ears are forever. Well, at least I'm going to tell you they are. This is probably the best sounding. This is straight up there VMVD1 levels of good sounding DAC. It's got the numbers to back it up. Even ASR did a fucking thing and said it bottoms out their fucking measurement graphs. So it's like, yeah, okay, so why are we even having this discussion? So if this is under $400, it's a buy. If you have an SU-8 and you want to know if you should get the SU-9, if you have the equipment to listen to that sort of level of clarity, get the SU-9. For today's test, just out of fucking nowhere, I should have probably used the Irish because I love that thing. But I'm like, you know what? I had to put my tubes back in my Tor balanced. And you know what I haven't heard? The Tor Balanced pushing the Civga Phoenix. That's why it's Christmas. So let's Civga Phoenix through Tor Balanced, and we'll get the balanced output of this, and then we'll just... Right? Right? No, not Weezer. Not Weezer. People ask how is the Civga Phoenix on a tube, and it's like they're so easy to drive. Usually a tube doesn't do anything, and maybe it doesn't sound any different than one solid state, but oh, I feel better with the wood on wood. And then on the other side of the room, JDS Labs EL2, because this is not the element, this is just the amp being fed off of this through my favorite cables, the made in Japan Amphenol ended world's best cable, which are still fucking cheap at like $20 a set, onto the also made in Japan Japanese dynamic stereo Sony headphones, the CD900 STs. Because these, and you know what, I've never had more of a different listening experience. And I'm just, this is it. This is 31 flavors of Ben & Jerry's. And this is like mocha chocolate cream. And these are like vanilla bean with some colored sprinkles on it. Golf claps for the SU-9. I had to go upstairs to get these off the out of the headphone gallery. Let's talk about the unit. Pick it up. It's my desk feels very small, by the way. I might switch this out with a 6-footer. I mean, it's not like I ain't got I got 6-foot desks coming out my ass. Actually, I could take this one with the wood on top of it and just like stretch it sideways. I don't know. I don't know how I'm doing this. Just, I feel like for a YouTuber with a giant fucking house now, I'm using that 4-foot desk and it's tight. The thing is, I used to have all my equipment on the rack in the back, and now there's no rack in the back. And I know I still have to do things with the wall. I've either got to paint the wall or put up murals or fucking, someone said painted green screen. And then I could just have anime waifus like fighting in the background, and I think that would be fantastic. And get me copyright claimed, so I'm not doing that. But it's a good idea. I think I just need more room on my desk. But look, it's unlike the unlike the M200. It's not that stupid shape. The screen is 100% legible and readable at a distance because it's not like blinding blue LEDs. The menu, well, here, no power button, except when you hold this down, and that shuts it off. And you hold it, and that turns it on. It says SMSL. And it says, that's a picture of a SPDIF input showing 44.1, the volume is 99. If anything, that's the most annoying part about this whole DAC, is that when you max it out, it's 99. It doesn't go to 100. And the thing is, it's a screen. It could show you a picture of like literally titties at 100, but they just make it say 99 and not just say 100. Volume there is green unless you hit mute. Then it says mute instead of volume, and it says muting. I have it locked right now, so we have to go into the menu. I just shut it off again. Whatever, we're looking at the back of it. It basically is this identical to the SU-8 as far as inputs? Because it's got the full-size power connector, which, shit, I should have bought one. I have those crazy thick ones that were like $15 that look like that some people are claiming they'll start a fire in your house. But it's just got a full-size power adapter, Bluetooth antenna, because that has Bluetooth. SU-8 had Bluetooth, didn't it? I think it did. Fiber optic in, coaxial digital in, your XLR out and your RCA out. They just all put out at the same time. Just like your mom. Moms, plural? I guess that would only make sense if it was moms, if they all put out at the same time. Let's turn it back on. Fast boot, at least. One press. That's what I meant to do. you get the menu, which is a whole lot easier to figure out than the fucking SU-8 menu, which is like basically a screen if you had like a watch that was like a DAC. That's how big the screen could be, was that little tiny thing. And I didn't hate it, but it was impossible if you were using this like in a living room or a desk. If you were using this to, I should hook the powered monitors up to this as well to do the, to show you what the volume control does, but you guys can figure that shit out. Press once, input, Pcm filter, Dsd sound filter, sound color, which is something that they carried over from the SU-8 and I love it. Pre-mode, which is what we're going to change from fixed to variable. DPLL, remember that? Who remembers DPLL? We'll get back into that. Brightness for the screen, reset, and version information. So input is obviously your input, optical, coaxial, Bluetooth, or USB. Pcm filter is your fast, linear, slow linear, fast minimum, slow minimum, appetizing. Let's go slow minimum. For, I don't know, I never hear a difference in those fucking things. DSD filter, well, I'm not using DSD, but apparently we're going to cut off at 70,000 hertz. Because I'm a fucking dog. Sound color. This is the only thing that should be on a DAC or anything that has an EQ. When I get a unit, it's like, here's your EQ choice, jazz or rock, blowhole, vocal. It's like, fuck those. You're stupid. Stop being stupid. Because those are changing things and it has nothing to do with anything. How do you know the genre of rock needs a specific EQ? That's dumb. Hope the noises back there are not like gonna come and kill me. I am facing like a giant. Someone said that they were like a little nervous because there's just so much open space behind me and they'd be super freaked out by that. That is true. I don't usually like do computing stuff with a big space behind me. But I'm also not going to face into the void. I'll face the wall. So what sound color offers you is standard, rich 1, 2, and 3, tube 1, 2, and 3, and crystal tube 1, 2, and 3. And those are flavors. So instead of EQing your shit so that there's weird fucking bumps in the actual equalization of it, it's like the smallest like DSP just tweak. So rich adds how to describe this, because I'm trying to listen to it with like certain songs, and you may not even hear it on certain songs with certain headphones. Like these on that, there's almost no change when I do the different sound modes. But these on this, a little more accurate, a little more accurate. You could just barely tell. And it's one of those things that I would be absolutely okay if you as a human being with your own decision-making skills decided that, you know what, I leave my thing on crystal 2. Because those are the different levels. 1 is the lowest, then 2, then 3 is the highest. And rich is sort of like, I don't want to say it's V-shaped, but it does add, it lifts like the mid-range a little bit, but not as much as tube does, where tube tries to like it smashes up the low end a bit in 3 different varieties. And then crystal, which is probably my favorite, just sharpens the highs, but not in like an EQ-y way, in like a, is that doing it? I think I hear it sort of way. And if you hear it a lot on 3, you drop back down to 2, and it's like all of a sudden headphones that might have been lacking in like 1.7 decibels of treble are perfect now. So that's fine. I don't mind flavors on your audio. I mind when you EQ the shit out of things and it's bad. And I'm glad they kept that for this new one. And pre-mode we already saw is just pick between. So now we have variable or fixed. Turn down amp vol exclamation mark. But it's at 100% anyway because of this. Now if that was hooked up to the speakers there, you'd have to definitely do that before you hit that. Although the fact that it literally says that, I did switch from fixed to variable. By the way, to get out of this, you got to hold for a second. Not long enough to shut it off. It does stay at 99, and that's sort of like, that's one other worry, I guess, is that some amps, some DACs, when you switch from like a fixed of 99 to variable, will lower themselves, and then you have to put them back up. And this does not give a fuck. So you should lower it. And here's your numbers. Look at these beautiful, big, chunky numbers that I could blatantly see. I wish I could change the this blue to like an orange or red, or just remove it completely. Again, I wish it had a VU. I just wish something had a visualization of movement. It'd be so nice. So we can lower this all the way down. to zeros, double zeros. Now here's a remote control. I think you've all seen the I should just do one review of the SMSL remote. You know what? I'm probably going to do a review of every remote control I have in the house. I thought about this. It would make good content. Describe what I like and dislike about remotes, just in general. I bet you people would watch that shit. So power, mute, volume up, volume down. I think this does, yep, left and right does nothing. Enter is the menu to get into that. Then you have your input select, function. Apparently brings you to fucking Bluetooth. I don't want Bluetooth. I went back to that. So function, jump straight to Bluetooth. And then you have ABC for having multiple SMSL devices. This one requires, I think, C to be pressed. Yeah. Press C before doing anything in case it gets knocked out of that mode. And you can see it goes up at a nice steady pace. It doesn't go too fast. It doesn't go too slow. It's useful. I'm looking at you, topping D90 with your goddamn Speedy Gonzalez fucking So 99 is obviously where I'm at. Again, I wish it went to 100. I really need more space on my desk. We'll figure this out, boys and girls. We're going to do this. I could bring the racks back over. Although I'm trying to avoid the rack, I want to sort of have like a more free experience around it. I don't want to be fixed in front of a metal box. I mean, I still have that to the right. And someone's like, why don't you move that to the middle? Because then I'd be distracted. Like, it's there. It's doing its thing. But other thing, like I want to make like maybe a tiered, like a curved shelf when I can have like multiple pieces of equipment underneath it and then more on top. And then like waifu screen, maybe second waifu screen or headphone. I don't know. This is the future. Somebody get out the crayons and draw me what you want to see on Z reviews. And then maybe I do like a projector onto the wall. And that's where I look for my song list. And then the girls would be super big. And then I would lose all my vertical wallpapers. That's sort of like my thing. Of course, you can take those, download them in the description, crop them out, put them on your phone. Because that is 21:9 vertical. So have I talked about everything about this unit? Like, I feel like if I'm telling you that the M400, the $800 DAC that they just dropped, and this, I can't audibly tell a difference, and then this has those sound modes, I feel like that's enough. Is it an upgrade from the SU-8? Yes. Is it a side grade from the M400? Yeah. It's just at some point, the human ear can't detect the difference. And I only have human ears. So, I mean, I could pull that fucking M400 off the shelf and put it right next to us, and I'd be like, I would have to spend endless days analyzing every particular song with every particular headphone amp combo to try to, like, suss out, is this actually better? Now, I have, like, the Sonkaz DAC that I'm using over there for the speakers, and that's going to come over, and that's, like, $450-ish? I actually have one upstairs. I have another little one down here. There's DACs on the way. I promise to get to like, here, where's my bag? Look, when Zeos packed his apartment, he packed a bag of true wireless IM. A bag, a Ziploc bag. They're the Samsungs. And then these are KZs. What else we got in here? Near. Oh, those are the big ones. Please. That's, by the way, where my BTR5 was. It was in that bag, which is why I couldn't find it forever. I'm getting to things. The problem with those is I have to use them, like, all day. And I have to go out with them, and I have to, like, deal with them. So those actually take a lot of work to, like, get into the groove. Is there an app? Oh, my fucking God, if there's an app. But this DAC, plug it in and listen to it. How does it sound? I can't tell it from the really fucking expensive ones. Approved. So check out APOS to get this. This is I'll link to everything on the desk like I always do, except for the stuff that's not being used currently. Wallpaper in the description. Hi-Fi Guides and the Hi-Fi Guides forums. If you want to support this channel and help me fucking build whatever the hell is going around the cocoon of the Zeos sphere, check out Subscribestar or Patreon. The $5 tiers get you into the yard sale, which happens from the 1st to the 10th of every month. Anything that was sent to me by companies that I maybe don't want to keep. Maybe the M400. I was going to tap this, but maybe the M400 now doesn't need to be here. That would go in the yard sale. Bidding starts at $0. If you're international, you pay half shipping. If you're local, aka American, free shipping. Yeah, and you could bid on any number of things. $5 also lets you see these reviews early. I've been pretty bad. Like, as of this recording, this is the first time ever in like 2 years that I've gone 2 days in a row without a video coming out. I have to, there's a system. Like, these might take only 20 minutes to hit button on my head and record, but then I got to download them and encode them and then watch them and then link them and then put them on the Patreon and then schedule the next one and don't forget the thumbnail. So there are processes, and this new house is like throwing me the fuck off because I'm like, I need to do the bees first. I need to put wood up in my windows to stop the bees. And I think that has more importance than doing reviews. So I'm getting to it. I hear crickets. It's kind of nice, actually. What else was I saying? Subscribe star, $5, yard sales, see reviews early. Ask me any questions you want on platform. That's it. I will get back to you. There's currently like a backlog of 50 questions. Every time I answer 5 more show up. So I will get to your questions on Patreon and Subscribe Star. If you don't like the waiting and you want to be part of the group that knew all about my eye being fucked up and shit, that is the behind the scenes private Telegram chat. That is at $10 on either platform. Will get you into that. And those guys are great, and it resets every 3 months. And there's a private swap meet just for those people to exchange gear. And what else is there to talk about? Hi-Fi Guides forums, I said it. That's it. Thank you, APOS, for sending the SU-9. I have it before it's available, and it's gonna sell out everywhere it is. I would like it in silver, though. The black's not bad, but it sort of blends in with the rest of the shit. Silver, or maybe even a color if there was available, but they're not. So that's it. I finished the review. I should just stop what I'm doing and just go relax in a hammock now. I don't have a hammock. I don't even like hammocks. You know how hard it is for a big guy to get in out of a hammock? It looks hysterical.